Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Bizkit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the Fitbit. Oh shit, did nobody come to see you old? It's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coding. Memphis niggas spit this pippin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Stay high, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Hop it, cook it, whip it, ship it, till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, oh, I need some more, nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach, I'm true geek. Walking by myself, but left with 2 freaks. Ooh, we, nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah, baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy, or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island, cause I like my love for choosy. When we link, it's a movie. She bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me. I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island, cause I love my love for choosy. When we link, it's a movie. She bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me. I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Bizkit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Bizkit.
Really? So cold, but I'm so hot.
Dope boys
I'm up in the trap, I'm dope boy.
with them knives.
Dope boy now.
The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Down 8 gram, headed straight to the block. Pirates, this water walk till it's hot. Listen double up, turn a little to a lot. Right hand on the cell phone, taking orders. Left hand 360 motor to a lot. Blue hollow tips, got switches on the dot. State game, true sippers can't be stopped. Laughing at you haters while I'm thumbing through the paper. Says long at the bottom, won't you meet me at the top? The nigga ain't shit, yeah, get that a lot. Won't be deterred and I won't be stopped. Shaq Diesel number one, I post up on the block. 24/7 cause the hustle don't stop. 31 flavor, take an order like a waiter. I be selling more gas than a local truck stop. 1200 strong for a pound to the top. Got me shining, I'm a star. Ask about me, I am legend. They gon' tell you who we are. Fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches. Get money, all I know. No love for these bitches. Never saving these hoes. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy. up in the trap, I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy now.
When I'm thinking about the past, yeah, gon' get some nice gang, we at the spot. If we ever was short, then it's back to the block, you probably get shot. Every day's a sudden change, we getting money, that's one thing, it's never gon' stop. Real dope boys do what it takes, playing high stakes, living to die. Do your time, keep it quiet, no matter who you are, don't get what you got. Stack it up, that's the bond to stay fresh. Oh, they think that you're not. Take a roll with a hoe, they gon' let you go. Somebody's gonna say you ain't hot. Just invest in yourself, don't worry about nobody else. There ain't no handout. If you say the same, put it on chain. Let them see you ain't tied down. Got a couple rings, did a lot of things. I ain't really gon' talk about it. Give me a trade, get some go. She gon' show up and show out. So don't ask me what a dope at, cause you already around.
The game's so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. The game's so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not.
Good morning, people. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, because my setup is different. And I don't know if y'all can hear me. I see Candy said, was I asleep? No, I wasn't. It was a sports guy. It was a man's sports dream last night. The pay-per-view was, two pay-per-views was on. The boxing match was on, which I think Tank Davis lost, but they gave him a draw. He won the decision pretty much. He didn't lose, so he kept his belt. He should have lost. And John Cena turned into a damn bad guy. They wait till this nigga retire to be a bad guy? I guess he said he going out like Hogan, but that it didn't even look right. But that was shocking. Y'all ain't told me if y'all can hear me. Hold on. I figured out on my own, I think. Yeah, y'all can hear me. But yeah, we're about to get into this Oval Office now. I didn't know Vance was gonna have as much of a part in this video as he did. I thought it was just gonna be Zelensky and Trump talking. I know before this sit down, there was a lot of hubbub about Trump saying, well, he fucked around and called Zelensky a dictator, and I don't know why people were upset. I mean, it's just like Putin. He's a dictator. Trump is a goddamn dictator. We could say he got all these other bodies of shit to go through, but then he still got presidential powers that can override a lot of shit. Same thing with Zelensky and the rest of these people. But people were upset that he fucked around and called him a dictator. Okay. But the point Trump is trying to get to is, bruh, y'all need to end this goddamn war. We've been helping y'all the entire time that y'all have been warring. We've been giving y'all money. We've been giving y'all weapons. We've been giving y'all food. Are y'all going to win the war or not? If y'all can't win it, make peace. Stop wasting everybody's time and money. That's what this meeting pretty much is about. End the goddamn war. So let's see how he would, from the clips I did see though, Donald Trump was in there talking like a motherfucking G. That's what we need from our president. Not up there bubbling, stumbling, forgetting his words. Zelensky look like a killer though. I ain't gonna lie. He looked like a Russian killer. He dressed in he killing his own right too.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky of Ukraine, and we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time, and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries. I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. And we have something that is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare, big commitment from the United States.
Yeah, and so because of this meeting, the rare minerals that we were supposed to be getting from them, that paper wasn't signed. I guess they're giving us something back for all the trillions of dollars we've spent in supporting them since the war started. But we didn't get that paper signed because the meeting fell apart.
And we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of soldiers, mostly at this point, but soldiers being killed. They're losing thousands of soldiers. So on both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard. But we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave.
Was saying, I don't know how much more help we got to give y'all. We didn't give y'all the weapons. We didn't give y'all the money, the food. Like, just give up. Well, not give up, but come to a peace. It's not giving up if both of y'all agree to a ceasefire. Both of y'all done showed y'all ain't going. Russia done showed they ain't going. Russia should be embarrassed. And little old Ukraine has shown they not going. But makes a great point. Y'all ain't got nobody to use the equipment that we sending now at this point.
Great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself in the sense that it's been, and you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? We want to get it over with. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things, and we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop up with the deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that. And honor you and
so much. Really, I hope that this first document will be a first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue, of course, the infrastructure or security guarantees. Because for today, I understand what Europe is ready to do. And of course, I want to discuss with you what United States will be ready to do. And I really count on your strong position to stop Putin. And you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he is a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom and democracy, and of course, no compromises with the killer about our territories, but it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course, we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you helped us under attacks of Russians and I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States. And
I'm
we
so
need
mad.
licenses for quick production.
I'm
of
so
air
mad.
defense.
Y'all didn't hear none of that. I said we got the best Air Force, we got the best Navy, we got the best Army, we got the best Marines, we got the only Space Force. We are some top-notch killing machines. Can't nobody fuck with us. They just can't. And it pick any one of our branches and it could just wipe out and one of y'all whole just because that's how good we are.
Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you, and we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And then the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names. They changed.
They stole 20,000 Ukrainian children.
And, now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back.
Slide for
Really,
me.
it's a big
Slide
dream,
for him,
task
Zelensky.
and goal for me and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we exchanged, released more than 4,000 warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images. How it's just can I now?
Yeah,
Have I?
please.
Some minute, 1 minute. 1 minute. Just you to understand in what situation they are and what the attitude of Russia to our prisons. It's just you before, and you see after, just you, thousands of such guys and men. They don't eat, they beat them, and they do a lot of say out during the war. Everybody, these guys, any rules, you see that. To show you what the changes with images of children, because I will share with you. And I mean, it's looking tragic.
Yep, that's tough stuff.
I wanted very much to give you, and you see it.
Yeah.
This is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. At the end of last year, we brought 3 pastors, and we could exchange them. And this is pastor, you see. And this I wanted to show you, and so thank.
We want to get that.
Yeah, of course, we
And I
want.
think we will.
How much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that is being created today? And how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil and gas, but we don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that can be, but it's not very much. It just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil and we have a lot of gas. We have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, in great shape. I think they're going to have. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. And I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it, and we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talk about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security. We said, and they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to. This is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration is terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had a former loan. And we didn't. And now, at least we're protected because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have. And we're able with very and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many. This allows us to do that.
There is very important points. We never had LNG house. It's turned open. I mean, the next does, but here's friendly good.
Sorry, y'all. I know it's fucking up. They just the whole little stream, y'all. Just keep giving me that little up and down Wi-Fi signal thingy. So yeah, sorry guys. Sorry.
Important, and I think for security of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. Use it for LNG. Use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe because Europe really helped, and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No. No.
No. Okay.
Repeatedly called the deal with the president of the EU met with any famous historical figures.
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm
The most
far superior to
now,
George
Trump,
Washington
you
and
doing
Abraham
COVID.
Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? I say
Nigga.
that the fake news is
Somebody in the crowd laughed, nigga. You want to be seen in the same line as Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. There ain't been no president since them that have been able to have that type of legacy. Washington had one because the nigga was the president like 4 times in a row for one. He ended term limits. You and see if you can compare. What have you done that comparable to them? I mean, I understand that the regular presidential stuff, but what have you done like that's on
We've accomplished tremendous.
Let's see, it's giving me that screen. Let me pause it for a second. All right. Let me see if I can outsmart this internet.
Be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that it's going to happen. And we've had very good talks on both sides, as you know. But in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This, to me, is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak. And I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. This would have, if I were president, this would have never started.
This agreement with Ukraine.
Yeah, we're going to be continuing.
President Zelensky, do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That the President Trump is on your side at this moment?
Good question.
What do you think?
He wants to know, do you think that,
We're on
sort
your
of stupid
side.
question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation.
Yeah, we've
And,
given
I
them
think
aid
that
the
President
entire
Trump on our
fucking
side,
3 years.
and of course, not whole.
The
I'm
only
sure
thing we
that the
haven't
United
done
States
was
president will not
fight
stop
ourselves. We didn't
support.
train them how
This
to
is
use the
crucial
shit.
for
We
us.
just
It's
sit over
important
there.
for us. Yes. And Putin, the president speaks about
We
the
done
people
gave them
and
air
the soldiers
defense
which are
systems.
dying, but they came to our territory. They came to our land. They began this war.
Airplanes,
They have to
guns,
stop.
tanks.
And I think this is the
Drones.
question with really the most important question. Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies to stop Putin withdraw these enemies
not
our
fighting,
and withdraw
bruh.
these troops
Y'all gotta do
from
that shit
our
on
land.
your own.
And I think that you asked about the history I think that if President or when he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
President Zelensky just said that there would be no compromise with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you. Firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? And President Zelensky, is there anything that you might be thinking that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. That's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile, to put it mildly. They've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out. And as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's dead level. That's why it's great farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being, and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody at the table and get an agreement. I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Mr. President,
How do they know which question
I have
to
two
answer?
questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be
How would he lead us to
remembered as
war?
a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to, thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and
Saving
recognized as
money,
a peacemaker.
saving lives
This
and
would be
money.
a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous
Some 2030.
situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate. And this was one of the things I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war. And that would not have been a good situation. What was your second
And
question?
my second question for President Zelensky, why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest, why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit.
What kind of nigga? Because he don't have to wear no suit. When you run shit, that's what you do. It's not like he's dressed slouchy. And technically, if he put a suit jacket on, he would still look like he right in. All he needs is a suit jacket, which he doesn't need. He's dressed casually / formally, because it's not like he just is urban down. You could go to a board meeting in this, it wouldn't seem out of place. Then he said, why don't you wear a suit? Because he's not American, sir. And they don't follow our rules. Can you show a rule book where it say he got to wear a goddamn suit? That reporter had to be old as the motherfucker. He probably been writing since 1947.
Suit. Just want to see people. Do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting the
And then, motherfucker, he run a country. Ask this man, do you know why he don't wear a suit? Because they in the middle of a fucking war, and pretty much every day you can see this nigga on the front lines with a rifle and a Kevlar helmet on and a camera crew around him shooting bullets. That's why he don't wear no damn suit. It's real in the field in Ukraine.
in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see people. Do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I
the
don't have
dignity of this
such-
office.
I will wear costume.
Some old ass white men. I speak for Americans too. I don't have no problem with this man being in the White House, not in a suit. He's not dressed bad. If the nigga had on jeans and a t-shirt, I could see you complaining. Look at that. What more do you want? It got to be a suit. And now you trying to say he disrespecting the office because he doesn't have on a suit and tie. If there's some Americans bothered by that, they need to kiss some ass and die. Niggas is too, y'all is being too, pompous.
Maybe one.
Maybe something like this.
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Yeah. Thank you.
President
Thank you.
You said yesterday that you
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Imagine being in a room with two presidents, and the only question you get for one of them is, do you own a suit? Why won't you wear a suit? Not anything about how does him wearing a suit stop the fucking war? How does it stop us from giving him all that goddamn money? How does it stop all them kids he said had been took by Russia, him having a fucking suit on? And that's the question that you decided to ask in front of the world. I hope you got fired, sir. You made the newspaper look bad.
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine. Yeah, sure. Hopefully I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very, very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never started. But, is yes, but we won't have to send much.
He's taking past the old joke.
Quickly.
There's no risk, man.
Does that mean
because I want to get the else a million times you say over and over. The deal and security is so easy. I'm worried about getting that uncommitted, but we could conceivably, we have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say,
I'm confused how that raw earth is going to be used to make AI and shit of that nature, but apparently it's something in that soil that we need that they know about.
And speaking to friends and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week, and a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you. You had President Macron here stormer at the White House this past week, both your courage and conviction to lead the path towards peace.
Yes.
Part of Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace.
Trump just put him on by asking what news station you with, so he gave that reporter and the news station on. Just made his career. I like that guy. Great question. He gonna be invited to the press pool from now on. Him and that news station. Unlike that jackass that asked the question about a suit, he blew his chance.
It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran money, Hamas stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away. And you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer. Yes, if I can answer.
Please,
sorry. Please.
And I do like your clothing, by the way.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other. But you know what? I think he's good.
There go Trump. There you go, Trump. And Trump said, I think he dressed nice. Now the reporter, you really have to feel like a dickhead because you criticized him and your own president says, I think he's dressed nice. Don't feel disrespectful. He fits in the room. His outfit is not out of place.
Again, if I can answer, yes, if I can answer, sorry, please.
And I do like your clothing.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other, but you know what? I think he's dressed.
I like this guy.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So I have more serious things than answer on such questions.
Thank you. I got more serious shit to worry about than this motherfucker talking about, do I own a suit?
Answer on more serious.
Zelensky should have said, motherfucker, do you own a jet? Because I do.
If I can. Yeah, so please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire. We can't just speak about ceasefire and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency, from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken his own signature. 25 times he broken ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. He never broke.
No, you were the president. You were the president during.
He never broke to me.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had during those periods, he had conversations with our side. And we had Normandy format, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia. And he broken 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough. Because his soldiers and soldiers afraid of our soldiers. When we're strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our land. Today, he knows that we have all the world knows that we have meeting. Yes, why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and it says ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war. And you hear now the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want. But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security, when we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance connection between the United States as the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial. This is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all this system to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop and will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us. It's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared these thoughts. I think maybe with your team also. I don't know, but in media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, and such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us. And you are right, Mr. President. That's 2%. This document, maybe other documents, it's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
Mr. President, after
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
They have to pay. This is the rule. This is the rule of the war. This is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began, those pay. This is the rule. Putin began this war. He has to pay all money for innovation. He has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
I have other questions that you didn't like.
trilateral summit
Because I wanted to know.
Wait, 1 second.
I asked a question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle, because of
Yes.
Ukraine or on the Ukraine side.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country. Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. They, as you know, they paid more than they had to. They are very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The
They said Poland in a
Baltics,
rough neighborhood.
they got a lot of, they're committed, and we're committed to
Whole
NATO.
area rough.
But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between. Why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful. And I think they should equalize.
Mr. President, reading it today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelensky the agreement and today signing? What
We made, I'm
was the
just,
deciding factor?
made a deal, that's what changed. I didn't think we were going to make a deal. And we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, what and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelensky and Putin?
I don't know, but it's, well, they don't like each other, I can tell you that. Like each other, it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this. They should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, right, an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. My people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of like, a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
Mr. President.
Sorry, just a second. About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that modern Ukraine is not want to stop this. Then it's understandable that to the United States, but it's not and you people. So these two sides negotiation and negotiation the strongest partner of the Ukraine and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it. Yes, defend the line. So we need, yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics to Poland, by the way, but first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not, your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa, which is going to be a 30-year-old Black Sea?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting, we'd have to talk about Odessa.
Who the fuck is
But a lot of cities
Odessa?
These have been destroyed. There's not a building.
To look. No, we have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So,
Mr. President, one more. I mentioned Poland.
When did you last speak with President Putin? And what did he say that?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope.
Was not engaged in censorship, but his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring Americans on his behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco,
particularly as it impacts Americans, and there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made of Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind. With them, they have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right to American citizens. We have to. I do think that under the president's leadership, to find common ground in the UK on this question, but a principle that will guide us is we believe forward for American citizens.
Mr. President, gas components for you, is it all?
A little bit. That's more than any by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal? Or is that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Mr. President, I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you...
I've spoken to numerous occasions.
Okay, the latest call. What did you discuss?
Serious with that question? I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area, very big area we're talking about. So we'll take a look. I'll study that.
Minerals, if they are
The agreement will protect them.
U.S.
The agreement.
But what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian wars?
Just, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that would make a deal, if I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder why.
You know, they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on surviving because CNN's got such low ratings. I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go. Please go.
Uncle Trump like, fuck this. See, that's why people like him, because he clap back. He don't just take this shit. He answered her question, but then he said, y'all niggas need to be worried. Y'all done got sued. Y'all got low ratings. Leave me the fuck alone. Gangster. How much smoke you got?
Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous. But the other side, in love with him either. It's not a question. I have aligned with the world. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to have? But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked.
This is where the shit finna get good. Right here. This shit finna get good. I don't think, you know what? This got 9:57, but this other clip I got, it's 10 minutes and 42 seconds, and it starts right there. So I think that clip is a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back that. Yeah, it's finna get good. It's finna get good right quick. Yes, it is. $18 eggs drenched in B-Love sauce. It didn't say that at first. It said life update. Ain't no damn B-Love sauce. For y'all CNN. Let's go.
For 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea.
Come on, Felicia.
So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people, you know? 2014. Yeah. So
I was here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2020, was the situation the same? People have been dying. And I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel. We signed ceasefire. All of them told me that he will name him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree with problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
You think that it's respectful to come to the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell me.
Cut up there. Everybody argue. But yeah, Zelensky, you said we gonna feel it in the future. Nigga, don't nobody want to try. Zelensky. We is itching for somebody to try us. We come up with new weapons every year. Some shit we ain't never tried out in battle. We wish a motherfucker would so we can have a reason to see how that shit work. Now they do field tests, but don't nothing get fucked up in field tests but the little fake ass cities that they blew up and big holes in the desert. Nigga, we want to see that shit in action. We wish a motherfucker would. We wish they would. It's going down. And I think you seem to forget, nigga, we all over the world. We got stations all over the world, Craig. We wish a motherfucker would come over here. We're going to catch their ass before they get back home. And the few that do it, if they do escape and get back home, by the time they land, it ain't going to be no home left. You got us fucked up. We ain't going to feel no pressure. Do you know how quick we ended the Gulf War, nigga? Quit playing. And we done only got better since then. We got a space force now, nigga. Nigga, we shooting bombs from outer space, nigga. From the space station that don't exist, nigga. We shooting missiles from there. Quit playing.
Everybody has problems.
He tried it.
Even you, but you have nice ocean.
You
God
don't,
bless.
you don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You will
Don't-
not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell
Zelensky, Mexico mad at us right now because we named that motherfucker the Gulf of America. We ain't took it. We just changed the name. They ain't gonna come up here and slide about that name. That's what they ain't, motherfucker. They talking about suing Google. They ain't talking about strapping up, and they right there on the border. Illegals come in every day. They right there. They can pop. They can get it popping about their respect for the name of their Gulf. They gonna sue Google. That's it. They don't want no smoke, and they right there. Canada don't want no smoke either, and they right there. Canada touch a lot of our goddamn states. Canada big as a motherfucker. They don't want it. Stop playing.
us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
How the hell did we go left? I don't know how we went left. Vance was saying something about diplomacy, and he was just saying he's saying he wants to sign a deal, but he's saying he's not optimistic because since 2014, shit has been being said by everybody, the world, not just y'all, but people in y'all administration from 2014 up into 2022 when we said no more. We've only been fighting for 3 years, but from 2014 when he came in and started taking Crimea, the world watched and didn't say shit. The world watched him take our shit for 8 years until we said no more. And Trump, you was in office in 2016 to 2020. You ain't stopped Putin from doing shit. So I'm just not optimistic that it's gonna happen. Our Vance was, he mad because he called him JD. Because Vance quit. But Vance now, initially Vance was just speaking in general, but once he responded to him and called him JD, Vance like, hold up, my nigga, it's the US. But now I got to ride with the country. I got to ride with the country. You got to. Good morning, Gabe. You got to ride with the country. Like, bro, we trying to help. But Zelensky saying, y'all ain't never tried to help. But Zelensky, at the time, America never tried to broker peace between y'all. We weren't in it. Now, you saying shit was broken while all these people were in the office, like, but they tried to let y'all handle y'all business. They tried to see if y'all were gonna stand. We sent y'all all types of aid, but when y'all just getting punked out, we not supposed to jump in and say that's not right. Y'all gotta fight back first. It took y'all 8 years to fight back. Y'all got aid. We didn't watch this shit for 3 years. Y'all ain't won. Y'all can't win. Now we trying to interject peace. But it's not the world's fault. Y'all took 8 years to fight back. That ain't our fault. You tried it though.
Not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
We're
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
brother.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president.
lives. It's a game of War 3.
What do you
You're
think about
gambling
it?
with and what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you,
Far more than a lot of people said they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting.
You gotta love CNN's production team. They put that banner up quick as a motherfucker. Trump to Zelensky, you don't have the cards. I don't think he's being disrespectful. I think he's just showing his frustration at the diplomatic process. He wants peace because he know he can't win, but he's just saying he's wary it's not going to happen. But he ready to sign the deal. What he wants is he wants us to come over and add jets and stuff and put pressure on Russia, and we're just not going to do it. You're not going to get our men, sir. We already got enough soldiers fighting and other people's shit still getting killed daily. No, we're getting y'all the equipment. We showed y'all how to use it. Do what you do.
You said thank you.
Today.
You went to offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president.
Oh, come on, JD. Come on, JD. JD said, hold up, my nigga. You went to Pennsylvania and you campaigned for Kamala. They wasn't trying to end this shit. They wasn't trying to end it. We trying to end it, and you're crying. Stop crying, nigga. I like this vice president. What y'all think? Do y'all think he's going to run in 4 years? You think he's going to be the Republican nomination? He's young. He's young enough to actually do it. Because it looked like he's very vocal, which you really don't see from vice presidents. He's really, really vocal already in front of the national media. Like I said, he's young. He's pretty much running the country now. He's learning how to run the country. And then in 4 years, he could do it back-to-back. Perfect candidate, though. I like him.
Entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America. And
please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Trump, he wasn't saying that he was literally speaking loudly in the room as vocally. He was saying hyperbole wise, figuratively, he's speaking loud about the war. Now, look at granddad of Trump. No. He's not speaking loudly. No, he's not. Look at his face. Why he look like that? He looks sad in the motherfucker. Like he ready to go.
About the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big.
He really, Trump, now to be fair, he really ain't done a lot of talking because all the questions have been aimed at you. Everybody's been asking you questions. He ain't done a lot of talking. Yeah, they is bullying this man. They flew this nigga all the way over here to bully him.
Trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't. Y'all gonna stay alone because it's y'all fucking war. We ain't getting in it other than providing the trillions of dollars in aid and machinery. Y'all shooting air guns. Y'all using air missiles and grenade launchers and missile launchers and air defense systems. That's us. We gave y'all the weapons. Y'all want us to give the bodies to fire the weapons, and we just ain't doing it. We don't want to whoop Russia ass with all that old ass equipment they got. That's why y'all whooping their ass, because y'all they using Cold War machinery against the advanced weaponry that we got. That's why y'all been able to hold them off this goddamn long. Just keep it 100 now, nigga. That it did come up under Biden. That came under Biden, but that's the only way y'all have been able to survive because of our equipment against Russia, old ass US, the Cold War ass machinery, tanks and shit. They gotta up their game. They supposed to be the second biggest nuclear power, but as we see, they shit old as hell. Them nukes might not even work. They over there bluffing.
In this cabinet. And not only in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through the president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military equipment.
You
And
voted
your
for
men
your
are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
see
have
it.
our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
Okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
But Zelensky, you gotta keep it real though, G. Without our equipment, it would have been over. They would have ran y'all out with their old ass equipment. Look what they did in 8 years.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times,
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
You think it's working people to see what's going on?
Yes, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long.
This is how politics work. This is how diplomatic talks work. It ain't always nice. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody fighting. Ain't nobody said your mama. They ain't trying to dox each other and all of that other shit. They ain't talking about each other kids. None of that. They ain't threatening to hit the button.
You have to be thankful. You don't have the card. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means.
That was with
you.
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
This
That was with
your
Obama.
Every chance he get, he is gonna lay into Biden's ass. And leave Joe Trump, leave Joe alone. Let him sleep, sir. He sleep. Stop saying that nigga name before he wake up and try to run for president again.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that wasn't with me. That was with a
you.
guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
Caitlin, I do want to, because there were a lot of things that were just not true, aside from just the tone and tenor and the monumental, historic, not in a good way, historic event that we just saw in the Oval Office. Caitlin, it really did seem.
I don't want to hear their commentary. I thought they was going to let them finish. Look what Caitlin got to say.
Caitlin, that let's just be clear.
Shut up, Caitlin.
I'm not saying that there wasn't when the television cameras are there, as does JD.
Okay, so finish it. let's see here. Oh, let's see. Oh, as whether he's owed an apology. Original one. The original one I was watching. Oh, where's the original one I was watching? Some bitch. All right, this is the last one, and then we're gonna get up out of here. He did an interview after the tense moment.
Welcome back to Special, and thank you for the time today, especially on this day, to continue to do this interview. President Trump said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the vice president and all of America in the Oval Office. Do you think you did? And do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and good evening to all your country, to all Americans. I'm very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale invasion.
My bad, y'all. I was trying to I had found the original video, and I was trying to go back to it, and I hit back on the wrong one. So, my bad. Hold on, let's finish hearing them arguing. Yeah, John Cena is going to be badass. That's going to make the match between him and Cody even special. Now we got to wonder if The Rock is going to show up to help.
In 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
Accept
to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
It
with
doesn't matter
me.
for you what
That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated
What
conversation.
she's saying is the same thing Zelensky asked. What if they break the ceasefire? We've seen it happen before. What are y'all prepared to do if they break the ceasefire? Are y'all going to help us? Are there going to be sanctions? What is going to happen if they break this agreement? It's been asked once already, and Trump just said, that ain't going to happen. Otherwise, we wouldn't be making the deal. And I was worried about it. They asked, well, what if, because some of the land where we're supposed to get the raw minerals is currently occupied by Russia. Are you going to ask them to leave? What if they don't leave? What if they decide they want to get their territory back? These are legitimate questions.
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
Well, what if they? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
Well, what if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke?
What the
I don't
fuck?
know, they broke.
That was a Trump. That was a bit extreme. What if a bomb drops it on your head right now and all y'all in that room would be dead? What the hell? That is a weird question.
Drops on your head right now.
That's a weird
Okay?
response.
What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony. That was a phony. Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. Broken him with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break him with me. He wants to make a deal. If you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a guy. And you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave.
Oh, shit. No, you didn't say, nigga, I made you. I gave you your swag. I put you on. And this the thanks I get? He just Nino Browned him.
And he might have broken him with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break him with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks.
He didn't lie there. Definitely great television. All right, let's listen to Zelensky. Then get up out.
Understand each other. I'm with all respect that he wants.
President, thank you for today. Continue to do this interview. Said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the vice president and all of America in the Oval Office. Do you?
I disagree with that statement. He ain't disrespect nobody.
You think you did? And do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale innovation. You helped us strategic partners, and even in such tough dialogue. And I think we have to be very honest, and we have to be very direct to understand each other, because it's very, for us, very necessary to President Trump. And I'm with all respect that he wants to finish this war, but nobody wants to finish more than we, because we in Ukraine, we are in this war, we are in this battle, and battle for freedom for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will. And we need him with Europe, with all the partners, to understand where we are. Like, I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we're speaking about just and lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect President, and I respect American people.
He shouldn't apologize. He's said how thankful him and the people are for their aid, and how he respects Trump and American and the bipartisan support. He said that he didn't disrespect the president. He didn't disrespect America. He said what Biden has done, not Biden, he said what Putin has done over the years. And he's asking, over the years, y'all have seen him break these things. If he does it this time, what we gonna do? That ain't disrespect. That's asking. That's pointing out the word. And he was crying a bit. I give him that. He cried when he said the world watched them invade. Y'all should have fought then, but y'all didn't.
And if I don't know if I think that we have to be very open and very honest. And I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. And I think that is the most important thing. Yes, we are partners. We are very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be very free.
I'm told that you were told multiple times from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this. And this will be the first step to security guarantees. But it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees. This is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in the struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side, and that America will stay with us, not with Russians, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies.
Trump has already told you he has to stay neutral in order to make this thing work. He can't come out and slam Putin and then be like, yo, we got to stop this ceasefire. He has to be neutral. But while being neutral, he is acknowledging that he helped you fight Putin. So he kind of is on y'all's side, but he's still remaining neutral. But Putin got it. You don't think Putin feel a certain type of way that America didn't help aid his ops? But Putin know he kind of got to find it, or you know, we still gonna help. I ain't heard. Well, Trump did say we out. If you don't sign an agreement, we out. So we'll see how that goes.
For the United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe. And they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean this very open, but I can't change our Ukrainian attitude to Russian, and I don't want they kill us for us. This is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, they're enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No, I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and we will have anyway diplomacy. We will have negotiations. I only said that I think so. It's about just and lasting peace. It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations. And at these negotiations, Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So we are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position. What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
He's looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow. We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees. We raise this topic about NATO the quickest way, but not all the countries are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's my position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States thinks maybe to help, maybe USA backstop have to be just to guarantee that they are with Europeans. Look at Europe, it's strong. It became stronger, but they also want to have allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
Will Ukrainians survive without Congress support? Of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us.
And they asking this nigga why he don't wear suits. He doing an interview on the front lines right now.
Us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe. Yeah.
So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
It will be difficult for us.
No.
That's why I'm here. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. It will be difficult without your support, but we can't lose our values, our people. We can't lose our freedom. So a lot of people, Russians came to our territory. You know it. Russians came to our houses, and everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people just to forget it, just to say that Putin is a great guy. No, without us, we don't want it. That's why we speak about, everybody remembered how it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody wants in Ukraine. Yes, of course, nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why when we say, no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? I'm not pushing. We are not pressuring. We're just asking. We're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much. But let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with our people, that America stay with us. That's great. We count on it. But just to share it and to say it, that's all.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now. This is our army is the part of security guarantees. Now we want to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how the United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy. Yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we. For us, I think this is real way, because with weapon it's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now. For now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States. But with all respect, again, so for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure of security guarantees. And we see that no NATO countries for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with him again. He either needs to resign and over that we can do business, or he's a
They overreacting.
No,
Have someone else take over.
I was always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for I mean this such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that it's enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not, I mean, this happy with me, okay, but between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other, yes, and only Ukrainians.
Democrats have had
their president.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut posted this: "What just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy. What an embarrassment." Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I mean, this. I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said your tenor and tone set that.
It's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say, when you are in the United States. And for example, president or vice president or somebody or senators, doesn't matter, big politicians, yes? When they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not a dictator, you know? What is the reaction? The reaction is in the United States. This is feeling to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said that it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other sessions, meetings, and I said, please be correct. I want to be very polite. I mean this, be correct with this number. Each person is about don't have any. When you speak, there's maybe some and etc. Just houses. It's people's lives. You know, their father, mother, their grandfather, during this war. Nobody Putin. It's not funny, you know, or fairy tale. This is real life. To my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things. I think it's not. I mean, that's why I said it's not a good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it. And I think that if journalists asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, I mean, he has his interview.
Mr.
This is our
shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this?
Damn, he said, Vance, you was out of place, nigga. You ain't even supposed to be talking. You ain't no president. You don't see my vice president over here talking. Good point.
Be behind closed doors, not.
Of course. And
so do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
Regretting? Yes, I think it was not good. I think it was not good because we had a lot of different dialogues. I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly. And I want to understand everything correctly. That's about us. Not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind? Here we are today.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much. And we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what parts in security guarantees will take this deal and what next steps. Just again, to understand for our people. Surprises. It's understandable. Many terrible things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises. Yes, that's why we want to be very fair with our partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign. That's it. I don't know when they will do it. It depends on the American side.
So
Exactly.
the minerals deal did not have security guarantees listed in it.
Part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump shared that I think so that if we will be there in some productions and etc. in minerals, that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, I mean, we respect and we believe strongly of the United States, but I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine. And we had offices, even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American or European company or Ukraine, it doesn't matter. He just came and occupied it. That's what I said. I think this is a great idea, how to strengthen Ukraine and how to make business between two countries, how to make additional jobs for two countries. But it's not just these will not save us.
I read what the Democratic senator said, that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it, and I think today very openly, President Trump, he said that I want to be in the middle, otherwise I will not put these guys at the table.
And is he?
I want to be very honest. I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere when Russia brought this war to our, not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our house. Want to hear strong position of the United States on. From one side, it's understandable. From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together in this question, two parties to do strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Yeah. Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes. But we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side. And 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open. It's digitalized. It's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Do you think today can salvage?
Can be. Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people help to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I'm very count that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored that you kept this interview. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Not too bad, 2 hours. I don't know what I'm going back live about later on this evening. I got to look for some shit. But until the next episode, where I see y'all at 12 at Truth. Till the next episode, we out. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the tidbit. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old, it's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloading. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coding. Make this nigga spit this pippin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Stay high, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Copy, cooking, whipping, shipping, till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, oh, I need some more. A nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm true geek, walking by myself but left with 2 freaks. Ooh wee, nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island cause I like my lover shoes. Yeah, when we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island cause I love my lover choose it. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry baby, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry baby, asking for forgiveness. Bow, bow.